Hello everyone, Switchbot here, and today we're going to do something very exciting. We're going to rank every stage in my Kart World Grand Prix. So get in your cart, get ready to drive, because this is going to be a big one. But before we start, remember to like and subscribe. We're getting close and we're growing big as a channel, so please give us a subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Alright, let's get driving. But before we drive, a bit of warning. This video will contain spoilers, especially in the end where we'll show some of the hidden stages in the Grand Prix. Let's get ready to drive. Alright, the three criteria we're going to rate every stage on is the visual and audio theme. Here we'll give an S tier if it's instantly iconic and immersive, and a D tier if it's bland or just recycled content. And it is there in Mario Kart World. The second is the skill challenge. How demanding is the layout? Are there some technical corners, hazards, or shortcuts to be taken? S tier is for the high ceiling, D tier is if it's chaotic or either flat. The third criteria is for the race flow and the fun factor, meaning how satisfying is the stage? Is this just one more race? You really want to play that stage one more time? Or is it just D tier, let me get out of it right away? Right, with that, let's start with the Mushroom Cup, which is the very first cup in the game. The first stage is Mario Bros Circuit. Let's start with that. First, let's talk a bit about the theme here. The theme in this stage is a sea for me. It's a desert, it's a bit exciting, it reminds me very much of the Roadrunner, but it's not too exciting compared to other stages. But it's not the worst I've seen in the game as well, so I'll give it a C. When we talk about skill challenge, the map is not that hard to play. It's very easy to get in first place, even on 150C. And there are some jumps and there are some swings, but there's not a lot of shortcuts to take in this. Fun factor is a C as well. It is a fun stage, but it's not a stage I will remember after the game. Overall, this places this stage in a C tier. Even though it has some jumps, there's a lot more and exciting stages out there, and let's get to them. Next race is Crown Town. It's a very curious race because the first large part of the race you really just drive along a highway, and then in the end you get to the city. The theme here is a C. Even though it's a large map, even though you're driving along the highway, then the highway itself is not that exciting. The city becomes quite more exciting, but it's in the very end and it's a very short part of the map. The skill challenge in this map here is a C as well. Even though in the end there are some skills you can do and you can make some swings and there are some speed boosts. It's still very easy to do. For race flow and fun factor I will give it a B. Simply because there's more variety in this map here and you get to see something different, and just the thing that you get up and drive along the buildings and on the buildings is a bit more exciting than the previous map, so in this end I'll give a B. Overall though, it's still a high C. The next race is the Whistle Step Summit. It's a bit more exciting and has a much better theme. You're driving along some train tracks, which you can drive on to drive a bit faster. You get up at a bridge. You can even get up at some building in the start. The theme here is a bit more exciting than the previous maps, and overall I'll give it B. There's still more exciting maps in this game here. In relation to the skill challenge, there's much more you can do in this map than the previous two. Since you can ride on the train tracks, get a speed boost and get up at the buildings, and you can even drive on the cables on the bridge. It's very exciting. For the skill criteria, I'll give it a B. Now to the fun factor. The theme and the ability to ride on the train tracks, drive up on the bridge, is much more exciting than the last two, and it's a much more fun map. Although there still exists much more fun map and exciting map in this game, so I'll just give the fun factor a B. Overall, this map definitely deserves a B. Now to the final race in the Mushroom Cup, the DK Spaceport, and to me this is one of the best maps in the game. Although this map starts maybe a tiny bit boring, then it's very soon changes into one of the most exciting stages in the game. You drive in the very old school Donkey Kong game, up and down, and you get the barrels, you get to meet a lot of things. The theme here is on top. For me, this is A tier, it's nostalgic, and it's a theme I have not seen before in any other Mario Kart games. In relation to the skill challenge, this map offers a lot more challenge. There are barrels to dodge, there's a monkey to fall around, there's a lot of jumps to do, there are things to avoid. This stage is almost peak, and it definitely deserves an A. In relation to the race flow and the fun factor, this is just one really fun map. I enjoy it, I want to play it again, and I played it multiple times. I really enjoy the theme, I enjoy the fun of the map, and I enjoy all the references to the old school Donkey Kong game. For me, this is S tier, without a doubt. Overall, to me, this race here scores an S tier. In relation to the Mushroom Cup overall, with 2 C tiers, 1 B tier and 1 S tier, overall, to me the Mushroom Cup is a very high B tier. Alright, time to go to the next cup, the Flower Cup. Let's get ready to ride. The first map in the Flower Cup is the Desert Hills, and I'll get fast through this one because, to be honest, I don't find this one very exciting. It's a desert, it's not that exciting, it's just sand upon sand upon sand. Hopefully you'll see a sandcastle, but it never arrives. Skill challenge is a very easy map. There's some jumps you can do on the sand, but that's it. So it says itself that when it comes to race flow and fun factor, this one is low as well. In all 3 categories, I give this one a D. That also means overall, it's a D. The next race is Sky Guy's Bazaar, and the theme here is a bit more exciting than the last race. It reminds a lot about Dune. You'll meet a big sandworm trying to eat you, or well, it's eating something, but not you, where you fly through it. Then you'll enter the bazaar with a lot of Sky Guys, and that's the theme. Overall, it's a bit more exciting, but I've seen much more fun themes within this game, so it's a C to me. In relation to skill, there's not a lot of skill needed in this map here. Basically, you drive just front-facing most of the time, and then you turn a bit in the end. It doesn't require a lot of skills, more luck if you get the right item, and it's a pretty open and big map. The race flow and the fun factor in this map simply does not do it for me. It's too flat, there's not a lot to do. The sandworm though, and the theme of that pumps it up a bit together with the Shy Guys, but overall it's just a C to me. Overall, this places this map in C, though in the lower end. I think there's better map in the C category than this one. Alright, the next race is Wario Stadium. The character which likes cheese for some weird reason a lot. At least if you play the DC games. WarioWare and Showdown, for some weird reason he likes cheese. Though, this theme here is about the stadium, and if you know the deluxe, this was one of the best maps in Mario Kart 8. The theme here, I'm happy to see it return. It has been used before, but I'm happy to see it return. So for me, it's a B. The skill challenge of this map is not that high. Basically, you start like many other maps, you start by just driving forward. There's not a lot to do. There's a few swings, and maybe a few skips you can do with a mushroom, but nothing that's really exciting and nothing that's really hard to do. Then you get into the stadium and you can do a few jumps to get a speed boost, but there's not a lot to do in relation to skill in this map here. It's pretty straightforward. So to me, this is a C. Talking about the fun factor and the race flow, I have to give that one a low C as well, for the same reasons. There are more fun maps out there, and we'll talk about Wario Stadium. I think back to the brilliant map in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and look in this map here, it's a bit more hollow compared to this. Although the theme is very good and there's some things to do, it's just a C to me. Overall, this give this race a C. Alright everyone, the next map is very exciting. It's the Airship Fortress. And as the name might give a tip on what it is, then there will be an airship. And it's not just any airship. It's the airship from Mario Bros. 3 and the airship we have seen in so many games which you'll drive in. The map starts a bit slow, but fast turns very exciting. You drive through a castle, you get to the airship, and you get the whole feeling for Mario Bros. 3's airship and how it is to drive in that and the castles. It's very exciting. I like this theme a lot, but it's still not among the best. So it's an A tier for me. If we talk about skill challenge here, there's much more skill challenges. You can jump on the pipes on the side in the beginning of the map. You can take some swings and get a speed boost. And there are some shortcuts you can take as well here. So there's a lot to do in relations to the skill challenge here. So that's an A as well. If we take the fun factor, then I find this map really fun. It's a good map. There's a lot to do. I like the theme. And it just gives a good vibe to it. And it's exciting to see. It's a map I definitely want to play again. So to me, that's an A as well. The Airship Fortress map deserves a secure and high A. Time to rank the Flower Cup. It had a lot of decent stages, but not great stages. And then it had ended with an A race, which was very good. But overall, I'll give it a high C to the Flower Cup. It is time to race the Star Cup. Let's begin with the first map, DK Pass. The theme of this map is exciting to me. I really like snow. And I might give this a too high grade compared to how much I really like snow and skiing and being in the mountains. I like the theme that you are on a slope and you're kind of riding a skiing race, kind of. That's at least how it feels when you go through it on the highway around and take the swings. So, without saying, I like this theme. Though to be realistic, then there are more exciting maps out there, so I'll give it a B for theme. For skill challenge, this is a map where you don't ride in a straightforward way to begin with, but actually have a race around the same track and you go around 3 times. There are some skills, there are some skips you can take, and there are some boosts you can get in the corners, which is exciting, and some jumps as well, which you can do, which is good. So I'll give that a high B as well. For the fun of it, I think this map is fun, and I like this, so I'll give it a B. Overall, this map deserves a low B. Alright everyone. The next one is Starview Park, and this is a very exciting race. The theme in this map is very exciting. You start in the snow, you get up to a hotel, and then, out of nowhere, you get into a sky highway. It's not Rainbow Road, don't get me wrong, but it is a sky highway. The theme here is almost on top, and it's for sure an A. The skill needed is good here. You can take some skips with mushrooms, where you go off the racetracks, and to get faster. There are some jumps you can do, you fly a bit. It's for sure an A. When it comes to the fun, I really like this map, and to me it's almost an S. Although I've seen some of the map later on in the game, and to me that puts it down on an A, because I know the level my Kart World can get onto. Overall, this map deserves an A. Next up is Sky High Sunday, and this map is one of the best when it comes to theme. You start on a mountaintop, go down, and suddenly out of nowhere you end up in an ice cream candy land. The theme here, although might not be completely my taste, I get the theme, and it's definitely in the top. I have to rate it an S based on that alone. Skill wise, there's a lot of things to do here. There's jumps, there's things to avoid, there's skips to take. It's perfect almost. I'll give it a high A. When it comes to fun, I like this map. And I like the theme of it, and I like the colors, and it's just exciting. So that's, to me, is an S. Overall, this map deserves an S. The next map is a Wario theme as well. It's Wario's Galleon, and it's a very exciting map. You start in this cake ice cream paradise, and from there you go into the water, and suddenly you see Wario's Galleon. There's waves, you can feel the water moving. I really like this theme. This to me is a S theme as well. Skill wise, there's a lot to do, and the waves creates a new challenge in Mario Kart. We have to jump up the wave, time the wave to get the speed boost, and you can even take the ice in the beginning, not ice, I mean the mountains, and the jumps there to get a speed boost. There's skips you can do, there's turns. It's just a very good map, and it requires skill to be in the top there, especially to get the speed boost from the waves. Fun factor, I like this theme a lot. It reminds me of the pirate theme. It reminds me, give me vibes of the ice mountain, and I feel like I'm in the Arctic or Greenland, or just very good. For me, this is S tier as well. I was debating with myself what to rate the Star Cup, because should it be a S or A, but I decided to give it a low S simply because the last two maps of the cup is that good. Alright everyone, I hope you're still with me. We'll move on to the Shell Cup, and the first map in the Shell Cup is Koopa Troopa Beats. And let's get right into it, because I'm very disappointed with this map here. Theme wise, I'll give it a D, because you're basically just on a beach and you could just go in circles 5 times. And it's not like it takes the themes from previous maps in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe example that looks like the Mario circuit. This map here is just the beach, and it's the same. Skill wise, there's little skill in this map. It's just in circles, in circles, in circles. So the fun of it is also a D. Overall, this map deserves a D, sadly. Next map is Faraway Oasis. This map here is not one that I actually remembered, but it's not the worst. You start the map by riding on waves, which is actually a bit exciting. Then you go into a safari, and then you end up just driving around in circles in that safari landscape. The theme here is not too exciting, so I'll give that a C. Skill-wise, there's some skill in the beginning with the waves, but then it becomes kind of just driving in the same direction with a bit turns in the end. I'll give skill needed here a B. Fun of it, I think it's a C. I didn't remember this map here. It didn't give me a lot, so it's a C. The next race is Crown Town. And the theme here is not too exciting. Basically just driving a straight line on a highway. It has some speed boost to take, but it doesn't give me a lot of vibes. Its theme here, I have to give it a D. Skill wise, for the same reason that you just drive in a straight line and you have to get a bit lucky and catch the speed boost, I'll have to give it a very low C. And then the fun of it, I didn't like this map. There's not a lot of challenge to it, so that's a D. Overall, I'll give it a D. So the next map is Peach Stadium, and I'm disappointed with this map here. It's similar to the last one. You just drive in a straight line, you get to a circle, and then you end the map. So I have to give this one in theme D. When it comes to skill, it's the same as the previous map, and even a bit worse. There's less to do in this map, so that's a D as well. And that goes without saying that the fun factor here as well is a hard D. Not the worst map, but definitely far from the best. Overall, it's a D. It's finally time to rate the Shell Cup. The Shell Cup overall has disappointed with many tracks in the D tier and some in the C tier. Overall, I'm disappointed, especially with the Koopa Troopa Beats and especially with Pete's Castle. This is just one disappointing cup, and thereby I have to put it in the D tier, unfortunately. So let's move fast ahead to the next cup, the Banana Cup. And the first map in the Banana Cup is the peach beats, and this map to me is a bit exciting. It has some exciting things into it. The theme itself to me is not the best, but definitely not the worst. It's a beach, it's a lake city, it reminds me a lot like a Spanish town near the beach, maybe in Malaga, if someone have been there. The skill in this map here, the skill challenge, is actually very good. There's a lot you can do here. There's waves you can jump on, there's buildings you can drive and jump on the side on and drive on the side of the building, and you can kind of fly as well. So I would actually say that this map requires some skills, and skills can determine if you get a good spot here. So I actually put that as an S tier. Fun factor in this is a mix, because the theme here makes me dislike it a bit, but since I can do a lot with the skills and I can take shortcuts, I can jump around, I think actually this is a fun map to race in. So in relation to fun factor here, I'll give that an A. Overall, I think this map deserves an A. The next map is called Salty Speedway, and I have no idea why it's called that. The map starts from the last map. You are starting in that small town, then you go into a beach, and then you end in another town. To me, this map is not really that exciting, and it has some of the same issues that many of the other maps have. You drive in a straightforward path to get to the real track, and then it's just driving forward without much challenge. This makes this map a bit boring in my mind, and I'll give overall the theme here a C. Skill wise, it's the same. There are small things you can do, but it's not a lot. You drive in a straight line, so that's a C as well. And that, for me, the fun factor is also a C. I couldn't even remember this map when I made this video. Alright, the next one is Dino Jungle. So if you really love Jurassic Park, you're definitely going to meet some dinosaurs in this map here. The theme here, I like it a lot. I don't think it's too well executed. I think there could be more dinosaurs, and I think we're gonna see even more of the whole Jurassic theme in this map here. Though they're still going with the Jurassic theme and the dinosaur theme in this map, so I have to give it a B. Skill wise, we have seen this a couple of times now. The map starts going in a straight direction. I don't want to comment too much on it. It's just a clear C to me. Fun factor, this time around the theme lifts us up, and I enjoy seeing dinosaurs. It's always fun to drive through the legs of one, but skill wise it takes it a bit down. There are some skips you can do obviously, but not that many. So overall, fun factor in this map here is a B, and that also gives the map a B overall. The next map is the Great Block Ruins, and this map here, I actually love this theme, and I think this is a great theme I have not seen before in any Mario Kart game, where you go to the old ruins. It has this mystic Indiana Jones vibe over it, that you're exploring something that has been in ruins, a temple and everything. This is a S tier theme to me. Though when we talk about skill challenge, this map has some of the same issues we've seen in many of the other maps. It starts with a straightforward path, and then in the end of the map it gets to really exciting stuff where you drive into the sky and end up on this mystical Iceland. And it's in the end the map becomes really fun. So in that regard, all the skills are in the end, all the swings and most of the skips are in the end. So in that regard, skill is a B. For me, I have to give some points to the theme here. I love the theme, and that makes me want to play the map again. I don't want to play the start of the map, but I want to play the end of the map. So I'll be a bit kind and give the fun factor here in race flow an A. Overall, this is an A to me. The Banana Cup overall to me is a very high B tier. It has some two good maps, especially the question mark map and the very first map, but the two other maps drags us a bit down. I really wanted to give it an A, but I can't go higher than a very, very high B. So Banana Cup, you're a B to me, which stands for banana. The next cup is the Leaf Cup. And to me, this is one of the better cups. It starts out with a very, very good track, the Cheap Falls. And to me, this has a very exciting theme, which is China mixed with water, and to me it simply just works when you drive throughout the map. So that's the S tier to me. The track is extremely well designed. You can do a lot of swings, you can get speed boost, there are a few skips you can do, and you can drive on water, and you can use the waves to get some speed boost. So there are some skills in this map, and the map just look exciting and exotic, and it's a track I really want to play again and again and again and again. Skill challenge, I'll give it an A. There are maps out there where you can get more out of it, but fun factor and race flow here, this hits my heart. And it's just a very, very well designed map, so I'll give that an S. Overall, I have to give this map an S. It's not a map where you see a lot of new stuff, but the stuff you see just works completely well. So S for me to this map. The next track is Dandelion Depths. The theme of this map is not too exciting. You start again in a straight line, then you end up in some depths where you drive around, you end up in some water, and it's just a bit hollow and feels a bit empty. So to me the theme in this map is a C. Skill wise, again, it's the same issue as many of the other tracks. You drive almost in a straight line, there are some swings where you drive up a hill, and then in the end you get some challenges. It's a bit more challenges than other of those maps, so I'll give it a B and be kind. Fun facts on race flow, I'll give it a C. I didn't find this map particularly interesting, to be honest. Overall, C to me. The next track is Boo Cinema, and the theme in this map is actually very good. Somehow they mixed a ghost house with a cinema, and it's just amazing. It's not S tier because the execution is lacking a bit, but I'll give it an A. Skill wise, we have talked about the issues of driving in a straight line, and this map has those issues as well. We end up with the real track in the end. I'll give it a low B. Fun factor, I like the theme, but the skill simply takes it down a bit, so a high B there. Overall, this track deserves a B. The next track is Dry Bones Burnout, and the theme here is bones that is burning, and it should sound like an exciting theme. You start still in the ghost area, you transition into a jungle, and then you end with burning bones. The theme though is not that well executed in the end. I would like to see more bones from the Mario games, and even more lava and some challenges in the end of the map. And then I would like the map to have more of the bone and burning theme, not just in the end. So overall, I've said the execution lacks a bit, so the theme here is to be skill challenge. It's a straight line, but there are some more challenges along the way here, so there's much more to do in this map. I wouldn't give it as high as an A, but give it a high B, simply because you can do some skips, you can do some jumps, and there's some swings, which makes it more exciting than other maps. Fun factor, I will actually give it a low A, simply because you transition from a boo to a jungle to a dry lava bone area, and that makes it a bit more exciting. Overall, I'll give it a very high B. The Leaf Cup starts very well with Leafly Falls, with an S tier, with a map that's in the top. Then it falls a bit with the Dandelion track, and then it lifts a bit up again with Boo Cinema and the Dry Bones Lava thing, which is a B tier. I can't give it an A, even though it has some of the best map in the beginning, because the 3 maps that follows that is below that. So it's a very high B to the Leaf Cup. That was nice. The next cup is the Lightning Cup. And in the first track of the Lightning Cup, we have a map and a track we know very, very well. That's Moo Moo Meadows, and you probably know it from both Nintendo Wii, but also back from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is the 3rd time we see this map and this theme, and it's very similar to what we have played before. So theme here is of course a C, because we've seen it before. It's not new, we know this theme, and we played it before. Skill-wise, it's still a very simple and easy map, so it doesn't require a lot of skill. There's some skips you can do, but we know it, we've done it before, both on Wii and Switch one. So skill-wise, I'll give it a B. Fun factor, I like this map, but it's not too exciting, to be honest, so that's a B to me. Overall, I'll give this map a B. Choco Mountain is the next track, and to me this map here is a bit bland. It starts out with you on the field from the Moo Moo Meadow, and then you drive up to a high hill, which is supposed to be a mountain, and there you go into it. I don't think the theme in this map is well executed, and when I hear the word Choco Mountain, I expect a big mountain with chocolate balls falling at you. I saw one chocolate ball hunting me in this map, but not multiple. So I'm a bit disappointed with the execution of this theme here, and that's why it's a D. Skill-wise, there's skips, there's something to do, but it's not a lot. It's a B. Fun factor, I was about to give it a D, but I guess you can have some fun in this map here. With some skills, you can go up on some rails, and I guess a chocolate ball to hunt you definitely deserves a C. Overall, this map gets a C. The next map is Toad's Factory. I'm not quite sure what they're producing Toad's Factory, I don't think I want to know. But the theme here is clear. I don't think it's too exciting for you, but I think actually it's well executed once you get to it. The start of the map, you're driving the straight line, but there's actually a lot to do, and just to think that you jump a bridge reminds me a bit of GTA for some weird reason. I think I did that a lot in GTA when I played that. But when you get into the factory, you see the theme and it stands out, and I like it. It's not the best, but it's a low A for me. When we talk about skills, I think there's a lot you can do in this map actually. You can jump, you can take some speed boosts, you can almost get destroyed by a thing that comes up from the ceiling. And there are some things you can do in this map, so that's an A to me. And I think actually, although the theme don't stand out to me, that it's a quite fun map to race. So I'll give it an A as well. Overall, A. Last track of the cup is Bowser's Castle, and we all know the castle from multiple Mario games and even Mario Kart games. Even though this is a well-known theme, the map is new. And compared to other maps or tracks, you actually get into the castle almost right away in the map. So almost a full track or map in this one here is Bowser's Castle. And it varies a bit. At some point in the map you even see a big Bowser that seems like the Phantom Cannon that's trying to eat you. It's a well executed map where you get up into air. The theme here is definitely on top, and it's an S. When we talk about skill challenge, I think there's a lot to do in this map, and there's a lot to brilliate in. There are some skips you can do, there are some speeds you can do, and I think the items are well placed as well actually in this map. So to me that's a high A. It's not the best, but definitely they're fun. I like this map. It's an S. I like the aesthetic of it, I like the theme, I like the fire, I like the lava and the thunder. It's a big S to me. Overall, S. From Moo Moo Meadow to Bowser's Castle, the Lightning Cup definitely gives it challenges. This has been a very exciting cup. It's not the best in the game, but it's definitely up there. To me, the Lightning Cup is a clear A. Alright everyone, thank you for watching so far. I have to give a warning now. We'll go into spoiler territory now, because now we go into the hidden cup, the Crown Cup, the final cup of the Grand Prix, which have some of the best stages in the game, and I'm so excited to talk about those cups. So let's get right into it, and let's end this video on a very high with the Crown Cup. Clear all the Grand Prix The first track in the Crown Cup is Acorn Heights, and I really like this theme. You are in the top of the trees, you can see all the acorns, and you're driving on the leaves, you're making jumps, can make skips, and there's multiple routes you can take when in the same track. It doesn't start like many other tracks where you have to drive to it. You start right away on the track, and you can slide on the sides, on the wind vines. There's just so much to do in this map here, and the theme is just in top. Without a doubt, the theme here is an S. The skill, for all the reasons just mentioned, is an S as well. There's so much to do, so much skills, and I really had a great time with this map here. So that's an S as well to me. Overall, it's an S. The second track in the Crown Cup is the Mario Circuit, and the theme of this map is, I love it, to be honest. It's not, it's a bit weird, it's not S tier, and to me it's a very low A tier. It reminds me of the Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, and just seeing that theme in the end. The reason why it's low S is because the beginning of the map has the same issues that many other maps have. You start to drive in a straight line, and then in the end you get to the real track, and just seeing that map reminds me of Super Nintendo. In relations to skill, there's not a lot of skill challenges in this map. There's a bit in the end, but a large part of this track or map is just to get to the Mario Circuit. So the skill challenge to me is rated a B. In relations to fun factor, I like the theme, and that definitely pumps it up a bit, but driving in a straight line is just not too fun in a Mario Kart game. So it's a B to me. It's enjoyable map, but not the best. The third track of the Crown Cup is the Pete's Stadium. And I guess it has to be there when we're talking about the Crown Cup. This stage just had to be there. This stage suffers from what I've talked about multiple times, that you drive in a very long straight line before you get to the real track at the end of the map. There's more to do this time around when you drive to the Pete's Stadium. There's some speed boost, there's some skips you can take, but it's not the most exciting. So to me the theme here is a B. Since you can do it skip, since there are some challenges, and since there are things you can do to get ahead, skill plays an important part of this map here. So that's an A to me. In relations to fun factor and race flow, I like the end, but I don't like the beginning. So to me, that's a B. Overall, I'll give it a very high B, this map. And last but definitely not least, the best map in the game, Rainbow Road. It returns in Mario Kart World better than ever before. The theme here is in top. You start by driving on the water, and then you get to a port, and you get sent up into the stars in the sky where the clouds are, and you see the Rainbow Road begin. And the map just keeps sending you further and further up. You go up to a satellite, you go up to deep space, and you drive on the Rainbow Road, and it just continues. This map is simply amazing. To me, that is S+ tier. The skill needed in this map here is high. There's so much you can do. You can do skips. You can even, I believe, I haven't tested it, do a huge skip where you jump from one road, drive out of the rail, and land on another road, and do a huge skip. The theme, the skill needed, and just all the colors make this a very fun map. In all three categories, it's S. It's the best map in the game. This of course also means that overall this is just S tier. With that, we have ranked all the races in Mario Kart World in the Grand Prix. Please take a look and see if you agree. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments. We have one last thing to do, and that is ranking the Crown Cup. So Crown Cups consist of two very good maps, the Acorn and the Rainbow Road, and the Rainbow Road is really S+ tier, is the best, and then it consists of two B tiers. I'll be a bit kind to it because Rainbow Road is just too good and Acorn is a brilliant map as well, so I'll actually rate the Crown Cup S tier and the best S tier in the game. So this is the best cup because of those two maps. But let me know in the comments how you would like to rate it and what is your view on it. Alright everyone, if you watched this far, thank you so much. This is the longest video I've made so far, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you are watching my content, and it means a lot to me. I would very much like if you can give a subscribe and a like to the video if you found it good. And the last thing I want to do is just wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much. Switchboard out.